Hey guys, welcome to Maximum Zen Yoga. Today's practice, we're going to be bringing some space into the body and relaxing any tense areas. We will need a strap for our practice today. So if you don't have one, you can always use a towel or maybe even a t-shirt. But if you have a strap that you can use, just have it nearby your mat. And whenever you're ready, we'll begin our practice. We'll begin today's practice laying down flat on your back, extending your legs, relaxing the hands and the feet, allowing the eyelids to flutter closed. Taking a few moments here to allow the body to relax and allow the mind to settle, getting grounded in this moment. Noticing the movement of the breath, bringing all of your attention into your body. Noticing the inhale, noticing the exhale. Start to wiggle fingers and toes, bringing some movement into the body. Maybe circling ankles and wrists. Then take a big stretch overhead, reaching your arms up, extending them straight up above your head, pointing your toes. And as you exhale, bring your right knee into your chest. Start to gently pull your knee in towards your torso. Just feeling a gentle compression on the hip crease. Sending the breath into the right hip. Gently release. Take your left knee into your chest. Grabbing onto your shin, start to gently pull your left knee in towards you. Bring all of your awareness to the left hip crease. Start to release, bending both the knees. Give yourself a nice big hug, tuck your knees in towards you, maybe lift your nose up towards your knees, squeezing tight, and gently start to release, grabbing onto your knees, making big circles with your knees. Make your legs move in opposite directions. So maybe the legs start by going outwards away from each other, big circles. And switching directions, big circles the other way. Notice the sensations on the back of the pelvis. Then we'll bring the knees together and start to rotate the knees, moving the same direction this time. Nice big circles. Moving your knees together. And then we'll start to go the other direction, big circles moving the other direction. Feeling the sensations in the back of the pelvis and the sacrum. This might feel like a gentle massage. Coming back to center, release your knees, plant the soles of your feet onto the mat. Grab onto your strap, and we'll start by bringing the strap around the ball of the right foot. Extend your right foot all the way to the sky. You can straighten out the left leg or keep it bent if that's more comfortable. Just start to press your right heel into the sky, feeling a nice stretch down the back of the right leg. And your hamstrings might start to sing to you. I invite you to breathe into that stretch. You could play around with your toes, noticing how it feels to start to flex your toes towards you. And if your right leg is straight, try to keep a micro bend in the knee, avoid locking the knee joint. And keep breathing into that stretch. And when that feels complete, release your right foot from the strap, switching over to the other side. Bring the strap around the ball of the left foot. And extend your left foot straight up to the sky. Try to keep your elbows tucked in close to your body. Sending the breath down the back of the left leg into the hamstring and the calf. Invite that oxygen into your muscles. And breathing deeply. Gently start to release the left leg. And then bending both the knees, walk your feet to either side of your mat and bring your knees together. This is a resting pose, restorative resting pose. You might even notice the pelvis starts to feel like it's opening up. And when that feels complete, we'll start to windshield wiper the knees back and forth, gently moving from side to side. And bring the feet back to center. Plant your hands down beside the body, and as you inhale, lift your hips towards the sky. Moving with the breath, as you exhale, lower the hips to the mat. Inhale, lift the hips to the sky, and exhale, lower down. Let's do this 3 more times, moving with the breath. Inhale to lift, pressing your hips towards the sky. Squeeze the glutes. Keep the knees at hip width distance. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Feel the opening in the heart and the front of the body. Exhale to lower. Last one. Inhale, lift the hips. And exhale, slowly lower down. Beautiful. Bring your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Flex your right foot. Then we'll interlace the fingers in front of the left shin or behind the left thigh if that's more comfortable. Feeling a stretch into the right glute. Wherever else you might feel a nice stretch, some opening and some space created as we hold our figure four. Keep both the shoulders pressed into the mat. Try to keep a connection between the low back and the earth. Keep flexing your right foot, protecting the knee joint. Breathing into the stretch. Gently release, switch sides. Bring your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Interlace your fingers in front of your right shin or behind your right thigh. And keep the left foot flexed here. We need to protect the knee joint. Left foot is active. Right foot can be relaxed as you gently pull your right knee in towards you. Feeling space created down the left glute. And anywhere else you might feel the space and the opening created in the body. Stay connected to the breath as you breathe and hold. When that's complete, release. And rolling over to one side, make your way into tabletop position, stacking hips above knees and shoulders above wrists. We'll flow through some cat-cow. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, round through the spine, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, and pull your heart forward. Exhale to round through the spine, tuck the chin, lift up through the shoulder blades. Inhale to drop the belly, tailbone moves up and out. Moving with the breath, exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Come back to a neutral spine, and then we'll just wiggle from side to side. So bring your gaze over to the right hip, and then over to the left hip. Bring the knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch. Send the hips all the way back into extended child's pose. Release your forehead onto the mat and allow your hands to walk all the way out in front of you, inviting space into the side body and length through the spine. Sending the breath into the low back and into the hips. Allow yourself to surrender, letting go of any tension or tight muscles. And one more full deep breath. And again, one full deep breath. And come up to your tabletop position. Extend your right leg straight out behind you. And keeping your balance, extend your left arm straight forward. So this is bird dog. We'll switch sides. Extend your left leg straight out behind you and your right arm straight forward. Engaging the core, release. And then the first side, extending the right leg and the left arm. Keep the belly button pulled in and release. Extend the left leg and the right arm. Engage the core as you balance and release. One more time, extend your right leg and your left arm. Engage the core, stay balanced, and release. And left leg, right arm extending. Keep the core nice and strong. And release. Beautiful. Tuck the toes under. Lift the hips, slowly moving into downward facing dog. You can keep the knees bent or maybe even bending one knee at a time, gently walking out the dog. And whenever you're ready to come to stillness, press through the palms of the hands. Start to straighten out the legs, feeling the stretch in the hamstrings, lifting the tailbone towards the sky. Allow the gaze to fall between the feet. And breathing, inviting oxygen into the body. On your next inhale, come forward to high plank. And exhale, lift into downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to high plank. Exhale, lift into downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to high plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, reach your left toes towards the sky. Look forward and step your right foot as far forward as you can. And then drop your right knee to the mat, untuck your toes, come into low lunge, gently lifting the heart. Find length through the spine. If it's more comfortable, you can bring your hands up to your thigh. Feeling a nice stretch into the hip flexor. Continue to breathe into the space. And then tuck your right toes under, lift back into downward facing dog. Moving through to the other side. Inhale, reach your right toes to the sky. Look forward and step your right foot as far forward as you can. Drop your left knee and untuck your toes. Come into your low lunge. Take a moment here to just make sure that your front knee is stacked directly above the ankle. Making any micro adjustments wherever you need to. And start to lift the heart, find length through the spine. Feel a nice stretch into the hip flexor. And breathing, inviting fresh oxygen into the space. And to come out, tuck your left toes under, step your right foot back into downward facing dog. Take a full deep breath in your down dog. And slowly start to come forward, dropping your knees down. We'll walk the hands all the way forward. Keep the hips lifted high as you bring your heart down towards the earth, coming into puppy dog. And breathing here as you invite space down the side body, into the spine. We'll start to transition into Sphinx pose, so dropping the belly down onto the mat, coming up onto your forearms. Start to pull your heart forward. Keep pressing the tops of the feet into the earth and grounding down through the pubic bone as you lift your heart. Pull the shoulder blades together. And breathing. As you exhale, Come up into tabletop position and we'll move into downward facing dog. Take a full deep breath in down dog. And then inhale, come forward to high plank. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, come forward, high plank. And exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Look forward and take baby steps all the way to the top of the mat. And fold forward, allowing the torso to hang heavy. Grab onto opposite elbows here. And if it feels good for you, start to sway the torso from side to side. Over to the right and over to the left. Nice and slow, nice and gentle. And come back to center. Release the elbows and step the feet a little bit wider than hip width distance. Take your peace fingers and grab onto your big toes. Take a gentle bend in the knees as you start to pull your torso towards your feet. Using the upper body strength to pull yourself. Pull the belly towards the thighs. An active forward fold. When that feels complete, release your toes and step your feet even wider so they're all the way to the edges of your mat, toes facing out. Then we'll squat all the way down into our malasana. Bring the elbows to the inner edges of the thighs and bring the hands to prayer position. Find length through the spine, reach the crown of the head towards the sky. Keep pressing the hands together and pressing the knees apart. Finding your breath if you've lost it. Inviting space and oxygen into the hips. When that feels complete, plant your hands on the mat and walk your feet in together. Squeeze the knees together. And then we'll come up high on the toes, balancing on the balls of the feet. Bring your hands into prayer position. And challenge a bit of your balance here today. And slowly bring your hands to the mat. We'll lift the hips, come into forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, inhale, float the arms all the way to the sky. As you exhale, bring hands down through heart center. Bring your hands to your hips. We'll step the left foot back. Curl your toes under and start to stretch out the top of the foot. So this can be quite an intense stretch, using your breath as a tool. Breathing into the stretch down the front of the foot. And then we'll walk the foot the other direction. So step your foot forward, lift your toes towards you, and slowly start to bend forward, You can bring your hands to your right thigh, just until you feel a stretch down the back of the calf. Keep pulling your toes towards you on the left foot. And slowly start to stand. Step your foot back to center. Step the left foot back one more time and inhale. Float the arms up to the sky. As you exhale, fold forward. Keep the hips square, so hips are facing forward. And think about bringing your belly towards your thigh. To come out, you can walk your hands up your right leg and step back to center. Moving into the other side, step your right foot back and curl your toes under, getting a stretch to the front of the leg. Really bringing space into the foot. This is an area we don't usually tend to. Breathing into that stretch. This can be quite intense. And then step your right foot forward, lift your toes so they're reaching up towards you. And walk your hands down your left thigh, just until you feel a stretch in the right calf. Come back up to center and step your right foot back. Drop your heel to the earth. Inhale, float the arms to the sky, and exhale, fold forward. And again, thinking about bringing the belly towards the thigh. Keep length through the spine, and using your breath as a tool, inviting space and oxygen into the body. And to come out, you can walk your hands all the way up your leg and step back to center. Stepping to a spot on the mat where you would like to balance today. Ground down through the right foot and lift your left knee in towards your body. Interlace your fingers in front of your shin. Keep the heart open, shoulders down and back. Release your right arm over to the right and bring your left knee over to the left. You can continue to support the knee with the left hand. If you'd like to challenge your balance, bring your gaze over to the right fingertips. Keep breathing. And with control, come back to center. Hug your knee into your chest. And then we'll move into tree pose. Bring the sole of the left foot onto the inner right thigh. If you can't bring your foot onto your thigh, you can always bring your foot down to the floor or even onto the right shin, anywhere that is not pressing into the knee joint. We'll balance with hands at heart center. Continue to press your left knee over to the left. And when that feels complete, release your left foot to the mat. Reground both feet in mountain pose. Take a full deep breath. And when you're ready, lift your right knee and interlace your fingers in front of your right shin, gently pulling your knee in towards you. Keep the heart open, shoulders down and away from the ears. Keep breathing. When you're ready, release your left hand over to the left. Bring your right knee over to the right. Balancing here. Relaxing your gaze on one spot that isn't moving to help with balance. If you'd like more of a challenge, you can bring your gaze over to the left fingertips. Concentrate on your balance. Allow the mind to be focused and steady. When that feels complete, bring everything back to center and move into tree pose. Whatever tree pose looks like for you today, whether your foot is on your calf or on your thigh, being mindful not to put any pressure on the knee joint. We'll balance with hands at heart center. Continue to breathe. Keep the standing legs strong. With control, release your right foot to the mat. And then shake out the legs, bending the knees, wiggle the hips. Do a little dance if that feels good. And we'll step to the top of the mat. Inhale, float the arms to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step back into high plank. Drop the knees and lower all the way down onto your belly. Extend your arms down beside the body, palms facing down, and start by grounding down through the pubic bone. As you inhale, start to lift the heart, lifting your hands, and then lifting the feet, lifting the thighs, squeeze the glutes. Keep lifting the heart as high as you can. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And start to release. And we'll move into bow pose. Bending both the knees, reach back and grab onto the outer edges of the feet. And if this is not available to you, you can use your strap here. We'll start to kick the feet, lifting the thighs and lifting the heart. So the harder you kick your feet, the higher your heart will lift. Feeling space as you move into this back bend. Feel the opening in the heart. Coming out of the posture, lowering down onto the mat and release your feet. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Push up through tabletop and sending the hips all the way back into child's pose. Take this moment to reconnect to the breath, noticing any sensations inside the body. Then come forward and we'll flip over, coming onto our backs, laying all the way down. Grab onto your strap. And we'll start by bringing the strap around the ball of the right foot and extending your foot straight up to the sky. Extend your left arm into a T position, and we'll bring both sides of the strap into your right hand and slowly start to bring your foot over to the right. Keep your elbow tucked in close to the body just until you feel a stretch on the inside of the leg. Keep pressing down through both shoulder blades, staying connected to the earth as you invite space into your body. And breathing into this stretch. When that feels complete, come back to center and switch both sides of the strap into the left hand and extend your right arm out into a T position. And crossing your foot over the body this time, bringing the foot over to the left. And just stopping whenever you feel a stretch on the outside of the leg. Stay connected to the earth through the shoulders. And continue to breathe into the space. When that feels complete, come back to center, release your right foot, and move on over to the other side. Bring the strap around the ball of the left foot. Extend your foot straight up to the sky. We'll bring the right arm out to a T position, and then bring both sides of the strap into the left hand. And slowly bring the foot over to the left. Keep your elbow glued into your body. And stopping whenever you feel a stretch on the inside of the leg. And stay connected to the earth through the shoulders. And using the breath as a tool to stay in the present moment. Continue to take nice full deep breaths. When that feels complete, come back to center. We'll switch both sides of the strap into the right hand. Extend your left arm to a T position and crossing the foot over the body, bringing it over to the right, stopping whenever you feel a nice stretch on the outside of the leg. Inviting fresh oxygen as you inhale, and letting it go as you exhale. Gently make your way back to center and release your foot from the strap. We'll bend both the knees, bringing them in towards the body. Give yourself a nice big hug, squeezing tight, maybe even gently rocking side to side if that feels nice on the spine. And we'll finish our practice in our Shavasana, extending both the legs onto the mat, relaxing the arms down beside the body. Maybe even closing the eyes if that feels comfortable. And take this moment to give yourself permission to completely relax. Allow the body to be still. Allow the mind to be calm. And allow all the benefits of the practice to sink into the body. And if your mind wanders, gently bring your attention back to your breath. transition out of Shavasana, rolling over onto your right side and pausing in the fetal position. Take as much time as you need to here. When that feels complete, come up to a seated position. Bring hands to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.